So there is a level of stupidity that just seems to be gaining popularity around the world. Man, there's a dude right now that I really. And you don't tell someone, you don't accuse someone of being anything. Gavin. I don't care how big you are, who you are, what you are. To me, you ain't nothing but a. I ain't gonna use the word, but I live right here. You can ask my daughter where I live, and then you can come and tell me to my face. Anyway, I think you're a straight punk. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Florida. Okay, we're gonna talk about Florida. We're gonna talk about stupidity, even stupider than Gavin. Even stupidly dumberer. Anyway, let's talk about stupidity. Let's talk about stupidity. Now, when you live in a state where you're getting 15,000 new cases every single day of this manufactured virus that was given to us courtesy of China and their germ warfare squad, you guys really don't get it, that it's not just the fact that there's the COVID-19. There's also swine flu now coming out of China, and there's a mutated version of the coronavirus coming out of China. So when are we going to do something about it? Donald Trump just lives in it's a hoax world. Can't argue with some people about Donald Trump. They don't see him doing nothing wrong. He don't do nothing wrong, even though he cheated on every single one of his wives, and he cheated on those. The ones he cheated on his wives, what he cheated on. How come they don't broadcast the pictures of him and Jeffrey Epstein so often? Because him and Jeffrey Epstein were arm in arm buddies. And why don't we hear about that Russian video anymore? Where Vladimir Putin has Donald Trump being urinated on by prostitutes, apparently. I don't have the video myself. I don't have it, but wouldn't that be something? So, Florida has 15,300 cases yesterday of the coronavirus, and that's pretty much every day. But those lovely people down there, I love Florida. I mean, not love, not love like. I really enjoy Florida. But pretty soon it's going to be a no man's land. A dead waste of space where basically it's going to be one gigantic cemetery. If the cases of the coronavirus keep going the way they're going, there's going to be nothing left. How can you sustain 15,000 people a day getting the coronavirus? And where do you put them? Now, if you go online right now, you will see, I call them douchebags because basically that's what they are. They're douchebags. You gotta wear a mask. It's not even about you and your comfort. You gotta consider other people. You have to be considerate of the older person that you may be killing. Or if you don't care about that, what about the children? People keep talking that crap that young people aren't getting it. So what did they do? They modified the virus so that young people can get it. Personally, I tried to get the coronavirus myself. That means money. They need people to volunteer. I volunteer for anything. Stem cells, bone marrow, kidney, a lobe of my liver, whatever. I'm not a selfish jerk. You can have it. I don't need it. You know, I'm beginning to hate people again. For a while there, I was like, you gotta love them like God told you to love them. And then I get these godless rejects writing me. One of them's accusing me of Gavin. Why don't you just meet me somewhere, Gavin? Why don't we just discuss this like men should? Because talking like this is literally just talking behind your back. One thing on this planet I do not fear is death. I fear God. Alright, so anyway, here we go. Are you gonna clear up? We got these, let's see what they're doing down in Florida here.
That soared into a new stratosphere Sunday. 15,300 cases.
That's a lot of new cases? Wow. That's a lot.
That number? It's deliberately ridiculous.
Physicians sounding the alarm.
People are dying. They're not just getting sick, they're dying. Our loved ones are dying. And you should care about those people that you're interacting with.
Florida's fatalities this week, over 500. In Miami-Dade, hospitals are at 94% ICU capacity, with the mayor confirming 6 are now full.
It's our ICU capacity that's causing us concern. Again, like I said, we can crank up another 500.
If the Sunshine State were its own country, it would rank 4th highest in the world for new COVID cases, behind the United States, Brazil, and India. Despite the explosion of infections, many rules remain unchanged. Masks are not required statewide, and Florida's beaches and businesses remain open.
As you can see, they are doing
Put a mask on.
as you load up the boat.
Even Disney World, back this
Put a mask
weekend.
on, man.
The Evans family from California says conditions are not what you might expect.
The capacity is very, very reduced. I mean, you can walk anywhere in the park and not bump into anybody.
Signs of social distancing and cautious behavior, key to keeping this already spiraling crisis from deepening.
What you're seeing across the state right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you?
On a scale of 10, I have to admit that I am on that 8 to 9 scale of worry. There isn't an infinite supply of physicians that can take care of COVID patients.
Sam joins us now from Orlando. Sam, part of the increase in cases is due to more testing, right?
Testing definitely part of the story, Kate. 140,000 tests performed by Florida. That is easily the most so far. The rate of those coming back positive went from over 20% 4 days ago to 13.5% tonight. But still, concern about hospitals and ERs being overwhelmed. Kate?
Sam,
But what does that
much.
matter?
Officials are worried also
Because the
that
people
as
are
cases
still
rise, more
positive
deaths will follow. This weekend has
with
already
the
seen an uptick
coronavirus.
and a major warning today.
Now they
Be
just know.
prepared for more fatalities. Erin McLaughlin has more.
Tonight, more than 1,000 American lives reported lost this weekend, and a grim warning from the White House task force.
We do expect deaths to go up. If you have more cases, more hospitalizations, we do expect to see that over the next 2 or 3 weeks before this turns around.
With at least 3.2 million cases and 135,000 dead, the White House testing czar insists America does not need to shut down again, if 90% of people in hotspots wear masks.
If we don't have that, we will not get control of the virus.
But with no nationwide mask mandate, in some places, wearing one is still left up to individuals.
People aren't taking it serious. I'm walking out and I see at least 10 people going in and they don't have masks on.
In Texas, confirmed cases continue to climb.
Plain and simple, selfish.
Reported today.
It is serious.
Selfish motherfucker.
It's not a house.
Excuse my language.
It can drop on anyone at any time.
And in Arizona, an alarming positivity rate, more than 120,000 confirmed cases.
We are setting records of the type you don't want to set for the use of ventilators by COVID patients, acute care beds.
Back in April, there was hope of a summer break from the virus.
It dies very quickly with the sun.
Now a distant memory.
How are you going to tell me that?
Some of the country's hotspots with temperatures forecasted to be as high as 115 degrees.
I think that summer temperatures have actually made things worse in a lot of places.
Actually,
it created opportunities for people to
kill.
spend a lot of time indoors.
Hard-hit Michigan.
Obviously, it's not killing it.
In cases after hundreds attended July 4th lake parties. Several partygoers have since tested positive for the virus. Health officials say the parties were so packed, contact tracing's impossible. Meanwhile, at a nursing home in San Diego, an infectious disease control strike team tries to contain a massive outbreak. 11 residents have died, more than 100 others infected. As the virus spreads, so too does concern things will only get worse.
We're heading towards large shutdowns. About half the country is either in deep trouble.
Why, Lord? You know, this might not be right, but give it. There's so many people on this planet, and I'm one of them, that don't deserve to live. And please take me. I will exchange my life for one of these people that are dying that may have something to offer society. Gladly. But that's not going to go out of my head until I see you. Why you just don't leave me alone, man? Because, you know, no one says, oh my God, until it's actually happening to them. You know, they blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're being cut to pieces and you're like, oh man. So, that's metaphorically speaking, of course. But don't open your mouth on me, man, please. Just come see me. I'm tired of it. Anyway, happy coronavirus to you. Hope you get it, Gavin. Appreciate your comments. Don't you ever accuse me of something like that, you piece of garbage. Plus, you're a coward. That's what I see that is. Pure cowardice. You're a coward. You're just a coward.